NBC, just take a look at this article, this headline this week. Trump navigates, they say, the most complex foreign policy crisis of his presidency. NBC talking about one truth at a time, as they point out. Much of this diplomacy there for all to see. It's coming out on Truth Social, and you've seen many conflicts and tactics. What do you think of the impact, of the consequences of it being played out in this way, do you think?
So there's two really important points. One is the timing of these strikes. It happened right when the negotiations were going to begin again. Look, Tehran wants negotiations because they want the sanctions lifted. They want, in some way, there's even those in Tehran who believe that there could be trade deals begun, or that they could enrich their own uranium and have the centers in another country like Saudi. This has been talked about. It's really interesting, the timing of when Israel did this to derail the diplomatic process. Absolutely, possibly. The other thing that really strikes me, and there's not much talk about it, but I work for a human rights organization. Has anyone said that that Israel has basically ruptured international law and the UN charter's been, mashed to pieces? Was there an imminent threat? I mean, Israel will say this was a threat to our security, but there was nothing at that moment, and they have yet to prove that there was a direct imminent threat. Now, I was in Baghdad, Steve was there as well, for months and months before the invasion, during the invasion, and then for years after. I'm getting terrible deja vu, because that was called a preventative war, right? But we sat there, we saw Hans Blix and the weapons inspectors come and go and say to us privately, there's no weapons of mass destruction. We know what then happened with Iraq. Poor Colin Powell was basically railroaded, as was Tony Blair in many ways, to hold up that bottle and say this threat will kill, this amount of weapons will kill so many people. I'm seeing that played over again. Iran has been demonized over and over again in the Middle East. The bully of the Middle East. Isn't Israel right now the bully of the Middle East? This, to me, was not a triumph. The IDF is gloating all over Twitter about, our enormous success. We have saved the world from Hezbollah, from Hamas, and now from Iran. But what reaction will this have throughout the world in reactivating a revolt against, the hegemony of what Israel's doing?